Good morning. In the series of the Akbar's administration, now we will focus on one of the important topic, Akbar's religious policy. Akbar's religious policy, one of the important features of the Akbar's administration. As we know, what we are calling Akbar the Great. Why Akbar become Akbar the Great? Not only because of administrative work. The main important feature of his policy, that was the Akbar's religious policy, which really brought him in the category of the greatest. So we will read in this particular paragraph about the Akbar's religious policy. Akbar, his desire to unite the entire country into one nation means he started thinking about a secular nation, and in this secular nation it is required to have a proper religious policy. Secular means the state does not uphold a religion as their religion. All the religions are equally treated. At present, 26 January you will celebrate your Republic Day. So there we are celebrating. In our constitution we added the word secular. So Akbar had this word in his mind and he applied, because during those era two major religion was there, that was one of the Islamic and one of the Hindu. So he want to deal with both group in a simple way. That's why he started with certain rules and regulation regarding the matter of the religion. So he knew it very well that in India, with the support of the Hindu, and when there will be a common unity between Hindu and Muslim in the proper way, in that condition only, not only for himself, the rest of the ruler, they will be able to rule the nation properly. So he started ruling his word with a secular subject. In the beginning I told you that he had a Rajput policy, a Hindu policy. So first we will read what he added for the religious policy for himself. Number one, that he abolished the taxes. Means during those time period, some of the Islamic ruler, they were the supporter of the jizya or the pilgrim tax. Jizya was the one type of the tax which non-Muslim has to pay, and then the pilgrim tax, like Hindu religion, many people they used to visit the pilgrim area. So they used to give the taxes. So he abolished these two important taxes which created a feeling of affection or the love among the people. Then Akbar, he given an opportunity to construct the temple for the Hindu people. Means even he has donated also. During the time of Akbar, Raja Toranmal, he took initiative for the some of the reconstruction of even the Kashi Vishwanath temple. So this type of the work he has done. So we can say that to stop any kind of fear from the state side in the matter of religion, he started supporting for the construction of the temples also. He married with the Rajput princess. And even after the marriage, he has given complete freedom in the matter of religion and even celebration of the festival to the Rajput ladies from the family side. He never forced the Rajput princess to follow the Islamic things. So in that condition, he never compelled them to follow the Islam. Only he has given the complete freedom. So in the palace of the Jodhabai, we can see there were the proper construction regarding a Rajput thing, and even the practices were also there. So he has given permission for the celebration of the festival, and himself also he has given the presence in the Hindu festival also. High cost to the Rajputs. Already we have discussed that the Raja Todarmal, Raja Man Singh, Birbal, Bhagwan Das and many other people, according to their talent, they received the higher post, and even the land grant given to equally everyone according to their need and talent. So in such way, Akbar had the religious policy. For this, applying the religious policy, different ways he applied for the religious and the social matter. Today we are having the context of religion, so maximum topic we will cover with the religion. Ibadat Khana. Akbar constructed a hall of prayer. Ibadat means hall of prayer at the site Fatehpur Sikri, a new capital of the Akbar. So there he constructed one building. It is known as Ibadat Hall. He invited all the subjects of the religious and or the expert, like Hindu, all the branches, then Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, Zoroastrian, everybody, they came and they started preaching and informing about their religion. So rest of the people, they used to listen in the Ibadat hall. After listening all the subject of all the religion, so Akbar found himself that all the religion, they are meant for the development of the humankind. Their base is the humanism. There is no discrimination on the basis of the religion. And in the religion, male, female are treated equally. No one is rich or no one is poor. In such way, Akbar started thinking in a different way. And then in the Ibadat hall, many concepts also started involving in his mind. So that brought a lot of change, even the character of the Akbar also. After listening everything, he had declared one word that is known as the Mahzar. Mahzar means through the Mahzar, he gained the power that all the Islamic, we can say interpretation, that whatever Islamic law, he started thinking a new way. Then he got the power to deal with the religious matter instead of the taking help of the ulemas or the qazi. Now Akbar himself declared as the supreme in the matter of the Islamic religion, and then he was the final authority in all the matter related with the Islamic law. While getting this power, a lot of changes started by the Akbar. Now, this is the very important point in the regard of the religion. Now, Akbar started a new things related with the Akbar's religion, that the different other activities. The number one, Akbar strongly believed in the principle of Sulh-e-Kul. Means Sulh-e-Kul, that was the peace with all. This was a concept. Means when there will be peace in the mind of everyone, in that condition only people will accept the new thing in their life. So he founded the elements of virtue and the divine truth, of the basic unity of all the religion. Virtue and the divine truth, the basic unity of all the religion. Means first he collected all the good point of all the religion, and then only he started all this in the collective way, and later on he composed a faith also, which is famous in the history with the name of Deen-e-Ilahi. Some people believe this was the new religion. It was not a new religion. It was a faith which based on the concept of the moral code of conduct. Last year in the chapter of Ashoka the Great, you read about the Dhamma. Dhamma was not a new religion. It was only the concept which was based on the moral code of conduct. Same work started by Akbar, which is known as the Deen-e-Ilahi. Why? Because he believed in Sulh-e-Kul, that is the peace for all. In such way, he started thinking Deen-e-Ilahi, which was the combination of all the fundamental, all the basic good point of all the religion, and then he started this point among his people. Basically, a religious way where the Hindus and the Muslim combinations and the rest of the religious faith, and it will create a feeling of the universal brotherhood. So basically, the Akbar's policy, it was based on the universal brotherhood concept of the Deen-e-Ilahi. So, in the Deen-e-Ilahi, basically the first faith that believed in one God. Whatever name we are calling, but we should believe in one God. And then the people should believe that the God is the representative. That is, the God has a representative which is in the form of emperor, or another way you can say emperor is the representative of God on earth, a divine theory. But he never said that the emperor should use the word dictator or one sole power. Means God's representative as a God is treating without any discrimination all the subject to everyone. The emperor should do the same work in their working ability. Treat everyone with the same way and also to believe in the same way while using all his or her power. So basically the Deen-e-Ilahi was based on the divine power, and we can say there were no sacred books allotted for the Deen-e-Ilahi. No priests were there, no classes, no worship or ritual. It was a concept. Many of the point which was combination of the many of the religion which was added here. So in his own court, among his own favorite colleagues, many of them, they did not accepted the Deen-e-Ilahi. They believed in the one religion, but they did not accepted the Deen-e-Ilahi. He never forced or convert the people for the Deen-e-Ilahi, but it did not become popular. Raja Birbal, we can say Birbal was his minister, a close friend also. He accepted. Even Man Singh, Toramal and many of the people, they did not accept the Deen-e-Ilahi. So after the death of the Akbar, this Deen-e-Ilahi faith was also faded. But even his son Jahangir, he followed the concept of the secularism. That is true. So during the Akbar time period, as a Sufi, he tried his level best to bring the peace and harmony among the people, and for this purpose he did a lot. Basically, to create a common unity, he started creating the common rules and regulation among all the people. He never made any discrimination between the Hindu, Muslim or any other caste in the different way. Now, Rajput policy or Hindu policy. So, already I have informed you that he was born in such situation where he has seen from the childhood the working of the Rajput, the character of the Rajput, and he was quite inspired with the Rajput. Because the Rajput, really, they were the true patriotic people, and those who are having, the word is the learning that is given here, that means that having the respect and the honor for the women's section. So in such situation, he was having a very good feeling toward the Rajput people, and he believed with the help of the Rajput only, he is able to construct a great empire, large and stable empire, not only for himself, even his successor will be successful for the further rule if they are having the support of Rajput. So, he has treated with honor and respect the loyalty of the Rajput. Even he started his matrimonial alliance with the Rajput family. Many of his princes, they belong to Rajput. Even Jodhabai, who was the mother of the Jahangir, she was also the Rajput prince. She was the Rajput princess who was never, all the princes, they were never forced for the following the Islamic culture or custom after marriage. So, he himself, his family member, even Jahangir also married with the Rajput princess. Later on, he appointed all the good Rajput according to their talent for the different posts. They were the trustworthy people, they were the responsible people. You read in the battlefield of Haldi Ghati, Raja Man Singh, a commander or chief of Akbar. Jizya and pilgrim already abolished. Even after defeating the Rajput ruler, he did not annex the kingdom of Rajputs and he allowed them to rule over there, and Akbar will be their overlord. So the Rajput, they made as the subordinate ruler. There were no humiliating treaty with the Rajput rulers. So that was a diplomatic policy of the Akbar. So he was able to gain the loyalty and support of the Rajput. He knew it very well. If he will keep any humiliating treaty which will dishonor the Rajput, revolt will start through the side of Rajput. So he want to rule in a proper way with the peace and security. So what he has done? He gave an opportunity to defeated Rajput to rule over there and pay him proper tribute. So with the help of the, we can say, Rajput's loyalty and support, Akbar was able to manage a very strong empire in our country smoothly. Even he has to face many challenges in the beginning, even later on revolt of his own son, but he was able to manage everything properly, and all the areas we can say he was successful in his rule. Not only the administration, religious policy and rest other places, he was quite successful, and really it brought, or he became Akbar the Great. The main reason, because of his religious policy, which created him or brought him as true Indian ruler, and he is known as the secular ruler. So you have to read your chapter carefully and properly, this topic. Every time I am telling to read it properly, and now you will get your writing work of this chapter. So you can check and you can write. You are having, check the number of the question also. 10 question for short question answer. And then 11 question for the detailed one. So please check your question answer and even check after writing, you are writing the correct answer of the question. Exercise 1 ABCD you have to write in your book properly, and rest of the work you will write in your copy. That is the question, that is the E and F. That is the short answer and the detailed answer. So please complete your work within the time period. So before you will ask for the copy, you will be able to submit it with the writing work. So read it and check your important word also, start learning. So in such way you have to complete your work. This is for today, children. So I will wind up this here. Next time we will complete the rest part of the chapter. So please start completing your work. This is for today. Thank you, children.